Two issues that touch us all: healthcare, because we all get sick at one time or another, and trade, because it shapes the economy, the job market, and our financial lives. And today, the two men nominated to lead the departments that could potentially usher in massive change to those industries were on Capitol Hill, answering questions and, at times, engaging in heated exchanges. Billionaire investor Wilbur Ross, now Donald Trump's choice to lead the Commerce Department, testified that job one will be to renegotiate NAFTA, the trade agreement often cited on the campaign trail as damaging the middle class. But it was a fiery 4-hour hearing with Tom Price, the controversial pick to lead the Department of Health and Human Services, that led to a lot of back and forth on everything from Medicare to drug prices to Mr. Price's personal trades in healthcare companies. Bertha Coombs starts us off.
Health Secretary nominee Tom Price's appearance before the Senate Health Committee was courtesy because the Finance Committee will actually vote on his nomination. But Democrats came out swinging, hammering the Georgia congressman on health issues where he's disagreed with President-elect Donald Trump, like Medicare.
Will you work with us so that Medicare negotiates prices with the pharmaceutical industry?
You have my commitment to work with you and others to make certain that the drug pricing is reasonable and that individuals across this land have access to the medications that they need.
Wasn't quite the answer to the question that I asked.
Can you guarantee to this committee that you will safeguard President-elect Trump's promise, and while you are HHS Secretary, you will not use your administrative authority to carry out a single dollar of cuts to Medicare or Medicaid eligibility or benefits?
What the question presumes is that money is the metric. In my belief,
yes, I am asking
from a scientific standpoint.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but we're very limited on time. The metric is money.
The most contentious questions surrounded Price's trades in healthcare companies.
Do you believe it is appropriate for a senior member of Congress actively involved in policymaking in the health sector to repeatedly personally invest in a drug company that could benefit from those actions? Yes or no?
Well, that's not what happened.
Price said he deferred decisions to his broker on investments.
Do you direct your broker around ethical guidelines? Do you tell him, for instance, not to invest in companies that are directly connected to your advocacy? Because it seems like a great deal as a broker. He can just sit back, take a look at the positions that you're taking.
She can sit back.
She can sit back, in this case, look at the legislative positions you're taking, and invest in companies that she thinks are going to increase in value based on your legislative activities, and you can claim separation from that because you didn't have a conversation.
Well, that's a nefarious arrangement that I'm really astounded by.
Elizabeth Warren wouldn't let it go.
So let's just be clear. This is not just a stockbroker, someone you pay to handle the paperwork. This is someone who buys stock at your direction. This is someone who buys and sells the stock you want them to buy and sell.
Not true.
So when you found out that your broker had made this trade without your knowledge, did you reprimand her?
What I did was comply.
You found out that she made it.
What I did was comply.
Did you fire her? Did you sell the stock?
What I did was comply with the rules of the House in an ethical and legal and above-board manner and in a transparent way.
Representative Price says he'll divest of all his stock holdings if confirmed as health secretary. He goes before the Senate Finance Committee next week. Bertha Coombs, Nightly Business Report.